Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Anderson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Anderson. And able to find Decker. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Anderson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. They couldn't hook up with Decker that time. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Pushing his way inside the 40. He's got daylight. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ricky Williams, 54 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Anderson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Anderson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Howie Long in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot put no zeros.
Select the team you want to join. Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right.
These models are. It's poppin', I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine. And ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I feel like a boss right now. Talk down the man right now. Oh yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh yeah. Shorty oughta been my me. Oh yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left. Yeah. Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Up, down, there's no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
Start the regular season by selecting your season goal.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now.
Start your week by installing. Meeting your season goal comes with higher rewards.
I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skip to school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a bit by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on the, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the trolls.
Saquon Barkley, welcome to the All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
Here we go. We got 380. 380.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passes since 2008. His numbers continue to drop in terms of touchdowns and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win and wants to get back on the top of the heap.
Go 56. 27 to Sam. 27 to Sam.
Manning now on first down. Over the middle to Beckham. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying, we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Manning. They'll roll him out right. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And Rosas puts this one through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The Jags heading out on offense. Last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player on the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge. Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
But you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, here's Fournette. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out. Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year may be erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Manning to Beckham. A big play there. 44 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Throwing on first down is Manning. Looking deep for Adams. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
There goes 56. 27's to Sam. 27's to Sam.
To throw on third down. Manning, he'll let it go deep for... And he's got his man. Beckham, touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 36 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Shotgun now for Bortles. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's 3rd and short.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On first down, Bortles. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kerry Wynn in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
380. 380.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
380.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. And who's got it? The Giants.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now a handoff. This is Stewart. Down right around the 25. There for the tackle, Blair Brown.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, if we get that artificial surface, you see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1, so do not press that skip button. First and goal, Jonathan Stewart. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go, I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Jonathan Stewart, his first touchdown in a Giant uniform. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you can kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
380.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
380.
Bortles now on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And now it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Bortles now to throw. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. One final try now for Manning. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing.
Defense.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. A final shot before break. Manning. And this is incomplete. So we've reached halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5
Still
yards.
First down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Here's Manning to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Manning going to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. Now Leonard Fournette, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Bortles looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. Well, it was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled. And they were.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Eli to OBJ. What a combo. And really, how do you defend them when they're on their game?
Absolutely, and they're on their game in this one. That's really what this offense is predicated on, isn't it?
It really is. This explosive plays, and it doesn't matter whether Eli throws it 3 yards or 30 yards. OBJ can provide that.
Now Manning firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run here with Stewart. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
I'd have to say that was a pretty darn good run right there. They had 8 in the box, still able to burn them. They've got to consider themselves lucky they only give up a 1st down and not a touchdown.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. Jonathan Stewart, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
380.
Fournette on the counter. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Giants. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
On 3rd down, Jonathan Stewart. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Blue 80. There go 56. 27 to Sam. 27 to Sam.
They do go for it. It's Manning. He finds Beckham complete. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. Another notch there on the belt for Eli Manning finding Odell Beckham.
Pick a route, any route. They're connected no matter what. Boy, those guys know how to figure it out, and they work hard at it in practice. A big reason why they're in the lead.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Green 80.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Green 80. Green 80.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now Bortles. And that's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Olivier Vernon in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity was something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, a season ago, they didn't have... He's got a man! Complete! Manning to Beckham. A big play there. 49 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
26, 27 to Sam, 27 to Sam.
Now a 10th carry for Jonathan Stewart. Oh, fighting off the defender. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. Pushes over, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do.
Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Manning going to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Giants. Cody Latimer, 37 yards. And the Giants take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
His throw incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A good pickup there of 22.
Here we go.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw is Bortles. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far, nothing going right offensively. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Manning looking to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Set. Blue 80. Set.
Manning. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught at the 10. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another catch, more yards, and now enough yards to break the single-game record.
It seemed inevitable the way this game went that the yards record would fall, and we got to see it. We got to witness it, and the crowd is so excited to watch another NFL record fall.
PAT up and good by Rosas, and that will extend this big lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set. Green 80.
One final try now for Bortles. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the fly over the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire...
Players on your team earned XP. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game.
I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a platform for the visa. Know the leader.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and these models it's popping out tipper. I skip her, girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping all sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Shorty oughta been my me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left. Yeah, feeling like a boss out of me. You so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Dollars, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life.
You have grades for each browse available players to improve your team.
And ain't nobody gonna take my role. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Mama watching television, telling me avoid the system. Hoping I ain't lose religion, texting prayer hands, hope the message sending on. Know I've been blessed, I've been seeing prophets, musty yellow shirts, louder than the broccoli, dancing in my chucks, feeling out of body, say the man got me on. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? All in my system, been the one I'm kissing. One might extensions that'll look like expeditions on. Man, it's too loud. Hear me in your city, cause when I start spitting too much drive, need some power steering, cruising to a better vision, y'all. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Mama, dirty the roads that I've traveled, but I'm on my way. Mama, trust all the steps on my journey, 'cause I'll be okay. I know it's gotta hurt when you know you could've had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one day I'll go back to school. Think I'm probably kidding, but I still mean it. They've been trying to school me, but I've been a genius. Caddy looking more like home since I made moves. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now?
chill. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, that sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bellin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer. Straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element. Out my element. My the same. Don't need no clout, no fame. No clout. Bought the game. All brand new chain. I swerve the lane. Call the group the gang. Whip that thing. Whip it. This shit give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it. Bring it. I do. Don't want no. They pull up with that. It's times 3. This how it go. Park $1 million at the. We gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs than PJ. Rich like water, go to Cabo. Flash. Cash in the walls, hollow. Cash. Your money too small, micro. Hunch up on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dust, freeze, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone, turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known.
You have too many players on your team. Choose which players you want to cut. Easily see, here are some recommendations to get you started.
I put my heart inside and only God knows. Get a clinics for that baby, bite this nose. I bite this nose. What's a leg with till they explode?
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying goals now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Rain put the stars out. Not a board the house. Get deported out. Gooped out for a shot. Marvin the Martian. I'ma put your brain up an auction. Proceed with caution. Skeleton AP is frosted. I sit back and read the offense. Was it did it the faucets? Chanel bag is ostrich. Stay down, come up in the process. Private jet, yeah. This ain't diamond milk, yeah. I'ma get the on welfare. The pink stone real. Bling bling blow, yeah. Mama got style, yeah. Chanel reptile player. On Mars, gotta get the grace of the God. 3 rock stars, nobody seeing the gang on guard. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
What's that on that beat? Addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got
my pants. Flexing, counting my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now. That's how I should live.
An offensive end each week. You can focus once you've made your game plan. Choose to start training and head down.
That's a big no. Gotta chase this money. Bankroll after big bankroll. I must get this money. I must get this money. I must get this money. Get this money. Get this money. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my ends.
Got 100, I need bands. Now look at my dance. What is my jam? Run and get you that bands. Turning that party up. Used to have a my Nautica. You know the money be calling up. Bring them tryna all of ya. Talking about it ballin', watch this. Started let me too quick. Went to Oakland with a few. Took 'em all you break. Dip. Yeah. Imagine what I paid for the rollie. Still from the police. 24 carats on my Kobe. Yeah. That for the homies.
I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my ends.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on
Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Manning now on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. He's at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 16 carries, 67 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Stewart. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On third down, it's Stewart. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and, boy, they were successful.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. This is Stewart. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Manning now to throw. He's going to let this one go. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they've got it here with a 1st down. Now Stewart, only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. They'll be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just
and he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Jonathan Stewart, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Prescott now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Manning. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He'll try and run for it on first and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal. Now they'll throw it with Manning. A dump off here to Stewart. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
This is third and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They'll go for it. It's Manning. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Rhett Ellison, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Second down, Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First down, Prescott. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. There he goes left side. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And again, it's Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. On first down, Manning. They'll let it go. And got his man complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. One final try now for Manning. Flush to his right. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we come. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had that.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And who's got it? The Giants. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner.
Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie. The first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Rosas good with the extra point. And it is 28-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
No, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know,
well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 79 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Rosas now to kick this one away. Here's Thompson on the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. We just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little game into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking, what Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games, just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Giants on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defense will give him.
To Barkley on the check down. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Giants have got it on cruise control.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his...
Back now in Arlington, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, This is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now Saquon Barkley, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants just continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And his throw here's incomplete. The tight end Julius Thomas, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is Stewart again. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down. That's Stewart. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. The busy night continuing for Stewart. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's Stewart. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Here's Riley Dixon now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's able to get up here to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Prescott finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the...
Hey, what's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, keep the rest. Hey. I got that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a... These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a... In jail I had... I make you cut off the... Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my kid ain't happy related, I'm calling them guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my... Big homie got... The big nigga mouth. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my... all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check-in to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account.
You have an injury from the last game. See how long they'll be out.
Me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my to the back that like a pogo. Don't do these, they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they on ride down to Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't being friends with these when I was down out of so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lie, some of these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting walk. Got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's time.
I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No caught. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. Derek ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. King of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No caught, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all your points, as a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week. These players are on the last year of their contract.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a lazy, my posse dipping, I raiding. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait.
Cap room is how much money you have to spend on new contracts this year. The closer your contract proposal is to desired.
Just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah, in the limit. Yeah, super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence for my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'm a stab, no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. Ferragamo stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead places in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a pantyhose.
Bro, you're not to your party. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over it. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Money back.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all your points, as a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week. Here are all the players that will appear in the upcoming draft. Select a player to learn more. Select to scout this player and unlock his best skill. Use it. Each skill unlock will cost you scouting points. Unlock this player's true skill ranking to see if he's a diamond. You just found a diamond in the rough. Other teams will undervalue this player.
Looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look on my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Trampoline, back on Monday, throw rock body. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, throw rock Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 15th NFL season. Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants face off with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Manning now on first down. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
Nope.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go as we saw there.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Set. Black 22. Black 22.
Now Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Down. Green 39. Green 39.
from the gun. Here's Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost the game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down and third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
There he goes inside the 30, and he'll be taken down at the 26. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game: 22 carries, 89 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he finds his man Griffin. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Credit the Giants' defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with what.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 30. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Giants! Russell Shepard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants add on to their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, back 22!
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Offense.
Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 14-3, that's our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And this one is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To throw is Manning. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's back.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, that's the down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Eli Manning with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Giants add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Down! Green, the line! Green, the line!
A run by Foreman to start the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Fielded just inside the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4.
Hey, kill it, kill it, kill it! Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up!
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on 1st. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The handoff comes to Stewart. A beautiful fake. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the 1st.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Stewart on 1st down. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. There goes Jonathan Stewart. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Jonathan Stewart, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Wide open receiver complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. On first down, Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And Miller with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To throw on second is Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. Miller with a first down and more. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Watson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. From the red zone now, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Olivier Vernon in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So we come upon halftime here with a visit. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
We got three.
They go back to Stewart on first. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go.
Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
A handoff to Berkeley, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft. Class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
On third down, it's Stewart. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick by Rosas is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And an alley to run. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And down inside the 15 he goes. 3 quarters in the books. And this is a blow. Out so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Watson now going to run the option right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now Manning. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They run here with Stewart. And an alley to run. 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On the run, it's Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Manning to throw on second down. And that's going to be incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing now is Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Stewart is the lone setback. To throw, it's Manning. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And that'll bring up second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
He hits Stewart in the flat. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
Throwing is Manning. And it is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And this Texans defense stands tall. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. To the right side, complete to Miller. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Black 22!
Watson looks to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Here's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Watson on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans cut into that lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Eli Manning and company getting set here as they head back onto the field. And right now it's all about probably just working some clock and enjoying this victory because they're up big here late in the 4th.
And somewhere on their sideline, probably the head coach allowing a little bit of a grin to hit his face because most coaches love to run other teams into submission, and that's what they've done in this game.
We'll see if they can continue and get this one into the locker room with more smiles.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to...
And this is taken in at the 5. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Black 22! Black 22!
On third down, Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. They're all finished in the game up in Minneapolis. And it was the Vikings able to take home the victory. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. Manning going to throw here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Manning. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually.
What's that on that beat?
Addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my bands. Flexing out in my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now, that's how I should live. Since I was a toddler, I knew that I would become this. I cannot move slow, that's a big no. Gotta chase this money, bankroll after big bankroll. I must get this money, I must get this money. I must get this money, get this money, get this money. I'm addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling, got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my ends. Got 100, I need bands. Now look at my dance. What is my jam? Run and get you that bands. Turning that party up. Used to have a my Nautica. Know the money be calling up. Bring them tryna all of ya. Talking about he ballin', watch this. Started let me too quick. Went to Oakland with a few. Took them all you break, dip, yeah. Imagine what I paid for the rollie. Still from the police. 24 carats on my Kobe. Yeah. That for the homies. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'.
seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say that they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape up and down the interstate. Yeah, we really touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
My phone still echo, the feds won't let go. Money never sleeps when you're the Black Gordon Gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes. I feel special. Resale and I never pay retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells. And that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connection. Connect the dots with my connect for my protection. Face to face, I place my like a drive-through. Feeling, you know how I do. Push.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
Too many to handle business on my own, cause you ain't right, and that's I don't condone. I got homies behind the wall wishing they was home. They got jammed up, kept discussing business on the phone. With Scotty, 200 pins off them $20 flips. I'm going by myself when it's time to up. That way police don't have a clue when turn up. I'm dolo when I'm out making different moves. Pull up to the shop just to pick and choose. I'm that, don't get confused, cause even when the prayed I didn't lose. Shame.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phones.
I sound
okay, I'm back to school, you. This is open campus. This is, I should slap it open-handed. Tough life, I told the model she need lower standards. Asked her if she had a twin, I feel like Joey Tanner. Big spender, Kris Jenner, I promote the family. Kardashian, see the Benzo, she like, oh, it's happening. Think she call me, cause she never knew her daddy. And my all black, Rhythm Nation, Janet, boy, don't make me Jackson. Bodily, what's underground? What's underground? Frontin' like a ride with the mob. Why shouldn't I charge me, myself, and I? Play the odds, a yes man, it's just a bobblehead doll. Holler them all. Strutting like Pac out the court, hop out the Porsche. Shake that, got that on menu, the a la carte. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. I gave it up and talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova out your movie, yay. Listen, babe, so good you'll think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing, I could Lisa Ray. Life is hard, but it's easy being truthful, baby. For real, overload. This is like I got like my pinky. Money, baby, we don't pay, it ain't ours. Bet it back, I bet I match it like the same style. Chopsticks for beef from shutting PF chains down. I gave you prophecy, my first one, then you lamed out. Luckily, sold, but it wasn't for me. Still the flow raw, peep the way I bubble in these streets. Who can with me?
Nikki, baby.
Go.
Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. I'm on the road, I'm getting paid like what you want, baby. You a bougie, baby, but I love you, baby. Give you the world, baby. Pay $5 grand for a handbag like Saint Laurent, baby. We love that money, baby. 100,000 plus 100,000 my whip. 30,000 plus 30,000 my wrist. We got those bad, that's I swear, baby, it was just kissing us. How could I forget that you done for me? Baby, gonna take the charge and take the fall from me. Would love to take you shopping, but cause I'm in your town. Sorry, little mama, I can give you more. Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah.
Gotta hit him on the jack. When you coming back, where's you at on the map? Everything is intact. Could've been a seamstress, still wouldn't cut him slack. Pretty much ain't got a clue. Itty bitty piggyback off everything I do. But I'm still dropping. Got him looking like James Harden at the awards. Back to you, I'm so into you. For real, bread, like I'm clean to you. If you a 10, I add 10 to you. They be mad when I 10 to you. That's what the bay like. Call me Buffy, cause that's what I slay like. These, I sun them like it's daylight. These wanna know what it's like. What it like, yo, what it like, yo. They wanna know what it's like, yo. All this ice is like snow. Get kimonos and let's fly to Tokyo. Pretty, pretty, please, baby, won't you cop this for me?
I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah.
My have an all white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost all the shine. I can buy a Billy, don't talk to me. For a show 150, don't talk to me. You ain't never helped your mans, don't talk to me. You just follow all the trends, don't talk to me. I set the bar, I'm the bar. Look in the sky, I'm a star. I don't fall in love, cause I be loving. They ain't like my shirt, it's a large. I don't care, I crush a ghost. Got 2 cribs in 2 states, I be doing the most. I got white folks money that I won't blow. And if you ask why, cause the white folks don't. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. Type of money you gon' need a sight. Type of money you gon' need a bite. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Everything proper, no propaganda. Tropicana gold yard bandana. Big, a lot of like Santa. Threw a birthday party in a phantom. Big like a dinosaur did it. And you know, shining like acrylic. Yeah, but had cornrows. I can see you hang with the door closed. Now I'm looking for a glove with a sparkle on it. And my got chocolate on it. Big bank, take small. Bank account on some tall. Attitude on some. Bank roll on what it do, boo. He had to roll that vibe. And if I ain't did it yet, I'll try.
Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. Type of money you gon' need a sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
She said, what you gon' do if I leave? I said, I'ma do me. B.I.G. Everything zoomed in. Big on me looking like I'm moving in. Got my foot in the door and we still here. I'm a first generation millionaire. I broke the curse of my family not having. I'm passionate like just after more than just cashing. Feed me to the wolves, now I lead the package. You boys all cap, I'm more Colin Kaepernick. I'm rare as affordable healthcare. Or going to wealth from welfare. I turn my W's to those. I might buy a red bottoms with the crypto. 3 coins, that'll pay your whole semester. But you gotta better than a Tesla.
Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. Type of money you gon' need a sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Back again, back to back, made back, stacked it. I miss Slim Shady, the M. Once he black, he'll be back again. Tell him that it's crunch time abdomen. Yes, I caught Mad Chanel and Mad Javin. She did it again, imagine them. About to make these bums mad again. Back to them. I lead the pack, so my back's to them. Yup, the queen's back, what's happening? Rerun, about to make these rap again. Diamond chains on my ankle. Young money in the cut like a tail tip, rubber bands on my bankroll. Show my like a
Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. Type of money you gon' need a sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking that I did boy, in Paris for a hit boy, these ain't the same type of hits boy, can get boy, you don't take these type of risks.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. He'll let it go. This is caught at the 20. They give him a gain of 37. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
That's complete right around the 8. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. What a ball game. 4 receiving touchdowns.
And he's not just a specialty guy either. They went to him when they were in the red zone. They went to him when they weren't in the red zone. They went to him anytime they could for obvious reasons.
Manning gonna throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. And Rosas puts this one through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. So just a lone field goal in this 1st quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Smith catches left side. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Tre'Quan Smith with his 1st career NFL touchdown. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. So that's the rookie's 1st trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Now Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Now Manning. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe. Swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense? The long handoff. Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Breeze to throw on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And a loose football. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
To throw is Manning. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down. It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Again, it's Manning. And now another one thrown incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And spins away. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only give up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. Breeze now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ready?
Breeze will try again on second down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it. He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
"15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that. But also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a cat-and-mouse game.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
To throw, it's Manning, and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no. They went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with it for the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second.
The grease board looks like at the half because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop it and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be scored. Yeah, those two.
And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 48 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And he's racking up the yardage. You see the catches, and defensively, what do you do here? Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Looking to get the ground game going with Stewart. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
On second down, they run with Stewart. Wiggles free. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helps. This is Stewart. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They keep it on the ground. Again to Stewart. Finding room to the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Giants add on to their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Now Breeze. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full.
Now Breeze lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And Hill running right through it. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Throwing now is Manning. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Eli Manning with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Rosas true blue on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Breeze going to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Josh Hill, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Breeze, got to have this one. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They got to get after him.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Manning looking to throw it. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 46 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Ready. 90.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Here's Breeze. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Breeze now on 1st down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Breeze to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Again, it's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Now, Breeze again. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are close to finishing off this football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Manning going to throw here. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference, defense.
Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Giants, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. And for Charles David.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I said, babe, it's. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it.